If you're not a master, it's easy to say and just let people pour money into your resource. And then whether you can handle the money or not is also God's will. When too much money comes inside, you have to think of the way how to distribute it. And you have to have talented people to know how to invest that money to make it become a good corporation. And that's difficult to find experts. So even if it's a small amount of money, it's easier to handle. And you can see where you can help. It's better that way. Otherwise, people might think, oh, actually we are spiritual, but we are into money. And also a problem. Really, when you come to money, the world people will scrutinize you. They will point all the, weapons at you. Wait. And it's also dangerous. After the masters die, suppose the master is enlightened and guides this operation. If the master, something happens to him, and they die, and the disciples are left behind, weak and persuaded, and influenced by other worldly people who only want money and fame, or by those who are not initiated but want to be initiated just to be in the management of the money. You never know, you cannot control all. And now you see the complication. That's why many of the masters up to now I know don't want to do anything with money investment. You found it. You go and have a look. The true master, most masters who teach the Kuan Yin method are not into money or investment business at all. If a disciple willingly or just naturally without asking give money sometimes, then they use it for propagating the teaching or to help the poor people, not investing. Very difficult to do that. But the disciple can invest. Yeah, but you cannot ask them to put all money into one bank and one group control it. Oh, we'll be in trouble. And if too many people control it, we are in trouble too. Because each one doesn't agree with each other about what project. And each one wants to have the power. Yes. And in such an adventure, we cannot avoid using the non-initiated also to run businesses. And then we will run into trouble with different ideas. And they will blame us for not being tolerant or not letting them do business. And then there will be more trouble and hatred and no end to it, no end to it. That's why you see even the Buddhas, Lord Jesus, they condemn money. Not because they don't know the value of money when it comes to helping the poor, but they're afraid of this complication. Even me, I work. Everybody knows that. And I use this private money most of the time to help the people. And I don't ask money from you ever. Except when you voluntarily do it in some disaster time. Then we have account everything clearly with receipt and with the place where we sent it. And the people who received it, everything signed and stamped. So that you can find out whether it's true, whether we have sent it there. Even though the money you put in is so little compared to what I put out. Still people accuse me of taking money. And from the refugees. So I told them the refugees are so rich, everybody knows. That's why I have to take money from them. I have nowhere else to take the money from. Do you know how dangerous it is? So, even if the idea is perfect, but the word is not perfect, we can't have a perfect idea in this imperfect world to carry out. That's the problem. I understand, I agree with you completely that we should not have a private enterprise. We should have a world government, a world spiritual leadership. Yeah? And we can even select one to be a world spiritual leader. Even if all equal master, but you can select one also. Yeah? And work together, fine. But it's very difficult to control all this. Huh? Even they tell me that I take money from the people. And you know how I live. I live in a tent. I don't have a private house. I don't have anything. All the money is in public use and account. I don't run money into my hand. I have never ever signed a check privately or by my hand. I haven't even signed any check for my own use. Never ever yet. Everything done through a public account and organization. Even then, I earn money. And they still think I have to need more money. What, to buy 10 more tents for me or what? Or to buy a bigger tent, perhaps. Or more fancy tents. Yeah. Please.
I have a request. Have you read the book called Celestine Prophecy? I assume you probably haven't.
I haven't, yes.
Okay, this is cutting out on me. I would request that you would read it.
What for?
And comment on it to us at a later date.
What for?
It's about a change in the spirituality of the world that's taking place.
Oh. And what is it? Is that all inside?
Yes.
What date? You mean they predicted?
No, there's no date.
They predicted
It's
that
a
we
time
change?
period. It's a period, but there's no date.
Okay, that everybody say that long time ago. Many books say about that.
No, this is a lot
No
different.
need to comment on it. What for? I mean, suppose the spiritual change now, okay? And we all know it. But what is the use if nobody else changes? We change. Enough. Prophecies, sometimes. I read so many books similar, so perhaps... Actually, we just do the real thing, huh? Do the real thing. We change. Now we know and we have the attitude to change it. Because actually, if I have to comment on all books, it takes too long. And sometimes I can't promise you and then I won't read it. Because if the book is bad, I won't read it. It will bore me. Other people before forced me to read many books. And they forced it into my hands. You have to read it. And then tell me what. And then I thought it's something good because it comes from my disciples. I trust them, so I read it. And then it's really garbage. It's all superstitious and nonsense. And I waste a lot of time reading it because I promised to read. And then so now I don't promise anything. If you want to read individually, you read it. It's always changing in this world anyhow. Everybody can predict it. Huh? And people say this is the Aquarian age, and others say this is a golden age, and the others say spiritual new age, and other people say it's no age, because the world is going to be destroyed. I mean, it's end of the world now. So everybody say many things. So I think the main point is that we change ourselves. We go back to the eternal. And no need of age or no age or silver age, golden age. We don't want any silver, gold, and we don't want anything. Right? Yes. Because we are eternal. We just go back to the truth, the eternity. Yeah? Actually, the more you practice, the less you want to discuss about what and where and how things will happen. Right? I don't want to offend you really because you're just new and I'm very happy to have a new disciples, but it's just my mouth. It can never say contrary to how I feel at that particular moment to a particular person. I run into trouble because of that, but please forgive me. All right? And often after some time, after some months or some weeks or maybe some days, you realize that what I say to you today is exactly just for you, exactly good for you. And probably you will come and thank me, but today probably you don't like it. Take your time. It's often happened to other disciples all the time. Sometimes they're angry with me because I say too straight and not in a polite way and not a sweet way, not the kind of diplomatic way. But 3 days or 3 months later, they come and thank me. Say, "Oh, Master, I know why you say that. Now it's good for me. Thank you very much." I should charge money every time, but I forgot. So if you want to thank me, don't bother. I might charge money this time because I will remember. Any more questions? Yes, please.
Yes, I'm thinking if the situation with the Vietnamese refugees, and I noticed that I think you said that maybe 20 countries, it's been very difficult for them to be accepted.
They have also pressure from other countries, from the countries who are in the pact. Because they always work together, they can't work alone.
Okay.
Sometimes they accept it already, and then suddenly they change their policy. Yeah.
So my question is, what would be the ideal circumstances in a country that would make it most effective for the refugees to be able to go in and actually adjust to that situation and benefit from it? What would be the ideal conditions and circumstances?
Actually, they are very desperate now. Any country will do. And they say they will go anywhere. I have asked once in the Philippines. But anyhow, nevertheless, before, if any country accepts them at all, I would tell them first. I would ask them, if the government let me come in and say, this country, such and such condition, would you like to go there? Then we help you, we finance you to go. So also we need the permission and agreement of the Vietnamese refugees. But only if I can get the answer first and the definite, then I can ask them. I cannot ask them now and raise in their high hopes, and then later they're more disappointed. I rarely dare tell them in advance. I'm just waiting until truly there is a country and there's agreement between Hong Kong, British, or between that and that country, definitely taking place in black and white, everything done. Then I would dare to tell them, and then I'm sure some will come, if not all.
Is there an idea as to the numbers of refugees in, let's say, one particular country?
You mean how many in which
to go
country?
To one country, let's say.
Oh, the more the better, of course. But also this country should be stable also, and also have something for them so that they can start with. No good if I take them into a very remote area somewhere and with no facility whatsoever for them so they can work and they can develop. They will be a burden to the country if they couldn't, even if I help with money but nothing to develop with. For example, if it's very remote somewhere and even ship cannot come in and there's no harbor for ship yet, if I bring them there and they have no food, no water, even if I have the money, I have no means to develop with. You can't bring equipment into those places and you have no electricity to make a factory for them to work in. Then of course, this is not very ideal, I think. What do you think?
It's true.
Yes, huh? It would be like put them in one and come to another and burden in that country. Yes, right.
So it would be necessary to arrange with the government to find a place in the country where there's some kind of development so that when they go in, they can become a part of the development.
They no need to develop very highly, but at least there's some basics. Like there's a good road, we can bring equipment in and to make it ourselves. Or some electricity or some equipment so that we can start to do the work or to build the house even. In some places, you can't even go in with a ship because there's no harbor. No harbor existed. And then first you have to build a harbor. It costs hundreds of thousands of dollars, sometimes millions of dollars. And then you wait until the harbor is finished, which is maybe 1 year or 2 years. And then to take the Vietnamese in. It is not practical. And then have to build electricity first. It costs also millions of dollars. And in a long, long time with the total bureaucracy. And then meanwhile the Vietnamese die.
They won't die.
Yes, you're right. They will die.
No, they won't.
No, waiting too long. Yeah, no, because they will push them out of the country and they commit suicide. Because they will think that in Hong Kong now, it says that it's news for me now. They say maybe they will not commit suicide on 30 April, but any forced repatriation will spark committing suicide. So this is a kind of dying the same. Oh, so very difficult for me. Yes. Sir, you understand? You understand me? I feel very pitiful. And I told you yesterday, but there was a press conference you were not in, so you don't know. 72 countries agreed, more or less, to send all the Vietnamese back home, okay? So if I find any country, it must be outside of this 72 country pact, because they cannot violate the agreement that they have signed together. Even Canada